Hello, and welcome to Passing Priority. My name is Mike, and today we're building a deck around a new Selesnya equipment commander from Adventures in the Forgotten Realm that isn't Drist Do'Urden. Catti-brie of Mithral is a 2-mana legendary human archer costing just green and white. Catti-brie has first strike and reach, and when she attacks we put a +1/+1 counter on her for each equipment she is holding. She also has an ability that for 1 mana and removing all +1/+1 counters from her, will deal damage to an attacking or blocking creature an opponent controls equal to the number of counters removed. Catti-brie allows us to turn equipment that doesn't normally provide an increase in power into tools we can use to kill our opponents. So this deck is packed full of low cost equipment that will help quickly get to 21 commander damage. The deck we have today is a budget Voltron deck, costing under $30. Because of this, we're steering away from many staples, but we still have some synergistic interactions and unique equipment to help this deck take aim at our opponent's life total. We will start by looking at the ramp in our deck. Our commander costing 2 mana means we aren't going to be able to get her out ahead of curve, but ramp is still important to sustain us throughout the game. Font of Fertility replaces Soul Ring as our 1 mana ramp card. Being an enchantment, we can pay 2 and sacrifice to search a basic land from our deck to the battlefield tapped. Rampant Growth comes in next, getting us a basic land to the battlefield for only 2 mana, as well as the artifact ramp of Mindstone. But at 3 mana we have more options. Cultivate does fall within our budget thanks to multiple reprintings including a recent standard set, and is joined by Growth from the Ashes, Harrow, Roiling Regrowth and Omen of the Hunt, fetching basic lands from our deck to the battlefield. Migratory Path costs 4 mana but gets us 2 lands, or can be cycled away if we need to dig for more equipment. Map the Waste we will want to wait until our commander is out. This card fetches a basic land to the battlefield, but also bolsters 1, meaning we put a +1/+1 counter on a creature we control with the least toughness. Most of the time our commander will be our only creature, so this is great early and can help pump our commander later in the game as well. Similarly, Ordeal of Nylea is an aura we will want to enchant our commander with, and whenever our commander attacks we will add a +1/+1 counter to her. Then when she has 3 or more counters we will sacrifice Ordeal of Nylea and search our library for 2 basic lands and put them on the battlefield. These +1/+1 counters don't need to be placed there by the Ordeal, so our commander with 2 bits of equipment should be able to quickly pop this enchantment and fetch us our lands. And while not providing extra mana, Daneth Capricium Paragon will reduce the cost of our equipment spells by 1 mana, and if needed can be another body we can equip up if we need more protection or our commander keeps getting removed. Speaking of equipment, we have 2 that help with our mana. Explorer's Scope makes it that whenever our commander attacks, we will look at the top card of our library, and if it's a land, we may put it on the battlefield tapped. And Goldvine Pick will also give us a treasure each time we deal combat damage to an opponent. Let's move on to our draw. Harmonize is our simplest form of draw, 4 mana to draw 3 cards, but we have some more unique card draw effects that fit this deck's theme better. Deepwood Denizens is a green creature that can tap to draw a card. At its base rate, this ability costs us 6 mana to get 1 card, but this ability costs less as we start gaining +1/+1 counters on our commander. Eventually we can get this down to just 1 green mana. The first Iroan Games is a saga with 4 stages. Its third mode will draw us 2 cards, but its first 2 modes are also useful. As it enters, we create a 1/1 token, useful for blockers if we can't give our commander vigilance. Its second mode will put 3 +1/+1 counters on a creature, and while we could put this on the token we create, we want to give these counters to our commander. Its fourth stage will give us a gold token, representing a gold medal. Shram Senior Edificer is a 2 mana legendary dwarf that will draw us a card each time we cast an equipment or aura spell. This deck contains 31 pieces of equipment, and 2 auras manage to slip in as well, so that's a third of our deck that our Shram turns into cantrips, helping to keep our hand full. One of those auras is Fruit of the First Tree, which we will enchant our commander with as more of an insurance plan. When she dies, we will gain life and draw cards equal to our commander's toughness. With the equipment we have, plus our commander gaining counters, this can easily refill our hand if our commander gets removed. Armored Skyhunter needs to swing at an opponent to trigger, but being a 3/3 flyer means we will likely have an opponent to swing at safely. Then we can look at the top 6 cards of our library for an aura and equipment card and put it on the battlefield enchanted or equipped to one of our creatures. This not only gets us more cards, but cheats the mana cost of casting and equipping anything we get. And with the 33 different options we have already said we have access to, we are likely to get a choice each time this triggers. Hunter's Insight will benefit us when we've grown our commander a bit. We will want to cast this if we've been able to get through any blockers and hit our opponent, because we will choose our commander, and when she does combat damage to an opponent, we will draw that many cards. And finally, even on our tight budget, we've included one Planeswalker, Garruk Primal Hunter. Even if we immediately use his -3 and kill him, it will draw us cards equal to our most powerful creature. But keeping it alive with its +1 first will start building us a token army to protect Garruk or us from any creatures that may come back to fight us. And like our ramp, we have some card draw equipment that will trigger when we deal combat damage to an opponent. Rogue's Gloves and Mask of Memory will draw cards on dealing damage. Skeleton Key will provide our commander Skulk, but this ability will not help us much as our plan is to grow our commander to the point that she is the biggest creature on board. But the best equipment we have for this is Zephyr Boots, which also provides our commander flying to help her get through to deal damage. As we've already said, we have a lot of equipment in this deck, so let's have a look at them next. Catti-brie is a human, and some of my favourite budget equipment that I've discovered over the years are the Human Matters equipment from the Innistrad blocks. All of these equipment have a standard effect, and provide an additional benefit if they're attached to a human. Bladed Braces gives +1/+1, but also Vigilance if attached to a human. Butcher's Cleaver gives +3/+0, but lifelink. True Faith Sensor gives +1/+1 and Vigilance, and an additional +1/+0 to humans. Silver Inlay Dagger gives +2/+0, but this becomes +3 if on a human. And lastly, Absence Collar gives +1/+0 and Vigilance, but if the human it's equipped to dies, we create a 1/1 spirit with flying. We also have some counter-themed equipment. Sword of Hours comes from the new commander decks, and adds a +1/+1 counter when the equipped creature attacks. This is in addition to the counter our commander will add when she attacks with this attached. And when we deal combat damage, we will roll a d12, and if we roll a 12, or a number higher than the amount of damage we deal, we will double the amount of counters on her. This ability will get harder as she starts gaining power, so a better way to double the counters on her will be with Fractal Harness. We don't need to put anything into the X mana cost to this card. Doing that will only create a token with that many counters on it. But when we attack with this equipped to our commander, it will double the counters on her. Remember, we can stack the triggers to resolve Catti-brie's ability to gain counters first, then double them with the trigger from Fractal Harness. And we also have some equipment that is here to provide our commander a power buff and add keywords to her, so let's quickly run through them. Fleet Feather Sandals gives our commander flying and haste. Haunted Cloak adds haste, as well as Vigilance and Trample. Ring of Valkus provides haste, but we won't get any additional counters. Ring of Thune provides Vigilance, and we will get the counters on our upkeep. Ring of Colonia gives us Trample, and will also gain us counters on our upkeep. Horn of Helm is a power buff and Trample. Varak Battle Horns gives Trample, and makes it so that only one creature can block. Pair this with the menace that Chitinous Cloak provides, and our commander is now unblockable. But Prowler's Helm will make our commander unblockable, unless we're playing against a wall deck. Cliffhaven Kitesail and Wings of Hubris are both here to provide flying. Hot Soup makes our commander unblockable, but we need to make sure she can't get damaged. If she does, she spills the soup and gets destroyed. Gorgon's Head gives Death Touch, and with our commander's first strike or her ability, we can safely get rid of any creatures she interacts with. Leather Armour and Mask of Avacyn are here to protect our commander, either taxing our opponent's removal or just giving hexproof. Belt of Giant Strength and Golem Skill Gauntlets are here to provide a large power buff to our commander. And finally, Ranger's Longbow is here because she is an archer and we need at least one equipment that fits her theme. But with all this equipment, she may need help getting suited up. Auriok Windwalker and Brass Squire can both tap to attach a single piece of equipment onto our commander. But Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist, at the beginning of combat can attach any number of equipment we control to our commander, being a massive cost savings. Lastly, let's talk about removal. For single target removal, we have Beast Within that gets rid of any permanent and replaces it with a 3/3 beast. Reprise will deal with any large creature that gets in our way. Valorous Stance can either be used to remove a creature with 4 or more power, or as a protection piece for our commander, making her indestructible. Nature's Claim will destroy an artifact or enchantment in exchange for giving its owner 4 life. But if we're killing our opponents with commander damage, it won't matter what their actual life total is. And Display of Dominance will only work against blue or black cards, either destroying them or making it so that our opponents can't be targeted by those colour spells. And we have 4 board wipes. These all hit creatures, but do not clear them all away, but leave each player with at most 1 or 2 creatures. For us, this will be our suited up commander ready to swing. Slash the Ranks, Single Combat, and Divine Reckoning will all leave a barren field where only a few creatures will be left standing. And we need to be careful when casting Tragic Arrogance, as it will clear away all but 1 artifact and enchantment as well. So ideally, we will want to wait till our commander has amassed enough counters and keep an equipment that provides protection or evasion. And that ends our deck tech on Catti-brie of Mithral Hall. A link to the deck lists can be found in the description below, and at a cost of under $30, this should be a fun deck to put together for some Voltron fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like, as it does help get my videos to more people. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe to the channel? As more deck techs come out, you'll have a vast library of ideas to pull from. And if you want a place to find all the decks we've built, our website, passingpriority.com, has the deck vault. Links to all commander decks we have covered on the channel, with more resources and information coming soon. And as always, thank you for listening, and goodbye for now.